And a very good morning to you. My name is Daniel Wahome, and this is Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the 26th day of February 2024, and it is a day when we're going to be having conversations on different sports. Kenya having been very triumphant when it comes to cross-country out in Hammamet, Tunisia, topping that medal table. What a day it was for Team Kenya when they were out there. And also remember that yesterday we had Tarmac racing. It's one of the events that is on the Kenya Motorsport Federation calendar. It was out whistling thorns. So there we shall be having a conversation about this format of sport, and also one about judo. Now, what else are we going to be talking about? We're going to be having a national validation exercise on the draft Social Health Insurance Fund Regulations of 2024. There is a Peace, Security and Development Cooperation and the 6th UNEA Assembly that is happening at the UN complex in Gigiri, Nairobi. So that's just part of what is in our news diary, and the conversations are ready to go. And also this morning we're going to be having a conversation even as we build up to the African Games that are going to be taking place in just a couple of weeks, just about 2 weeks time, and that is in Ghana. 3 cities are going to be hosting. You've got Kumasi, you've got Accra also, who are going to be hosting those games. So 3 cities hosting that, and it's going to be a 2-week festival celebrating the best of African sport. One of the teams that is expected to be participating is the Kenya Judo team, and also this is part of their build-up towards the Paris Olympics. I've got the Deputy President of Judo Kenya, Duncan Chamiri. Duncan, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, judo as a sport and, how it is viewed. I think let's just start from there so that you can, just tell us about this martial art that is based on wrestling.
First, you remove the word wrestling.
I mean the action. Okay.
It's a compact sport, yes. But this is more of throwing, bone lock, choking, and pinning your opponent down. So it's a very disciplined martial arts sport, very safe, and it's good for, if I can put it rightly, it's good for child development, and it's rated one among the best in terms of discipline and on a way to keep temperaments low and good for human development. Well,
we'll be having some demonstration with 2 of Kenya's judokas. We've got Peter Gadhiro and Zedi Cherotich, so they are going to be joining us, and they are going to be doing a little bit of a demonstration, telling us what is required and how, what is not accepted within the sport. But let's start here, Duncan, when we talk about the state of the sport now in Kenya and how it has grown over the years, over the last 3 or so years, as we are building up to the Paris Olympics.
If I can say is that the COVID 2019 actually tempered mostly with the compact sports, especially judo, because judo is about grappling, it's about playing with your opponent closely, and in majorly we were out of sport for almost 3 years. Came 2021, that's when we started now building our team. Coming to 2023, unfortunately, things started going down 2023 due to the economical issue happening in the country, and we happened to do 3 tournaments last year internationally, which really hampered our qualification route. We still have like 6 tournaments internationally, which we might maybe find our way into the Olympics, which it will give us a boost in terms of getting to the Olympics. The All African Games, though it is not an Olympic qualifier, but it's a build-up match for our team, whereby it's also another challenge. We got 4 slots, which will be able to attend the event, though we are very hopeful that it will be a good event for our athletes. We have other lined up activities. This year going away to 2026 Youth Olympics. We have the cadet. That is what the ministry is really trying to bring up. talent nurturing and development, which we believe that we are going to start early April during the holiday all the way to 2026 for that purpose. And that is where we are heading to.
Well, we'll be talking about cadet sport because it's, there's a lot of focus on that, and we've seen the government getting involved, especially through the Kenya Academy of Sports, as far as this is concerned. So let's now actually talk about, this slots and, the process of going through the qualification for the Olympics. We know COVID really hit, especially, a combat sport because of its nature. And the imposition of social distancing was, as you have explained, was very heavy for it. Which are the slots that you're looking at, if we were to mention, when it comes to the Olympics and also for the African Games?
The African Games, we got 4 slots, and those are our best athletes. We have Sedi Cherotich, who is actually a world ranking leading in terms of the Kenyan delegation. She has 185 points. And we have Peterson Kadiru, we have Kevin Dahabunyimana, who was not able to be here, and another one is Joyce. So if we can say what is their preparation or what is their make to the Olympics, I can say they're fairly okay, but the chances to get to these events for us to accumulate points is where the big challenge is, because we are qualifying on accumulation of points. It's not like, for example, athletics, where you can run here at Kasarani and you qualify.
That's a difference. Actually, first of all, you meet the time, then you are invited by AK.
Yes. So those are the challenges we are having in different sports, whereby it is very difficult for one to be in office, let's say 1 year, and understand every other discipline. So it takes time before the administration get to know where and which place we can support the sports disciplines.
Well, and I'll take this time to introduce 2 of those athletes that the Deputy President of the Judo Kenya Federation has mentioned. We're talking about Zedi Cherotich. Zedi, a very good morning to you.
Morning too.
And also we have got Peterson Gadiro. Peterson, a good morning to you.
Morning too.
All right, so first of all, Zedi, let's just hear from you. Currently, you're in the under 78 kilogram, 182 points that you've accumulated from the world rankings. Just take us through your journey in the sport.
I started Judo 2021, and I really thank God for this journey. It has been tough, and I pray God for the All African Games that we are going to do our best, and we'll bring and we'll make sure Judo will go far. Yeah.
And let's basically talk about, your last ranking result. This was against Rebecca Aisha of Angola. Just take us through this and how that contest went.
Actually, that was my first competition to participate in Judo. Last year, it was in Morocco, and I was position 7. And that is where I managed to have those points. And I will make sure my competitors, this time round, I won't let it go. I'll do my best.
Okay. Thank you very much. And also in studio, he doesn't have his judogi, but we are with Peterson Gadiro. Peterson, a very good morning to you.
Morning too.
And basically, just tell us about, your growth in the sport, how you've moved up, and how you find the African competition when it comes to the under 81 kilogram division.
Okay, I started my judo career in 2013 when I was playing for cadets. So I've been participating in more events. I started playing at the under 60 kgs competition. In 2019-2020, I went to under 81 kgs, where there is a very, very big challenge. But for now, I've been training hard and focusing towards this competition and expecting to perform better and bringing medals to the nation.
Well, there's something that you have said, and it has captured my interest. 20 kilograms weight gain, starting from the under 60 and now going down to the under 81. Just give us about the challenges that you have had and how you have seen your training process change by going up the weight classes.
Okay, at that I started my judo when I was in my primary school, class 8.
Uh-huh.
So after there, I was playing for under 66. I played for around 5 years. Then I started gaining my weight my age was increasing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, so now the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to see from Peterson and also from Zeddy is some demonstration. So just for you to know, it's going to be more of a friendly, so they're going to give us some demonstration about the do's and the don'ts of judo and how much is accepted. So that is going to be coming up shortly. Yes, Duncan.
Maybe what they would likely do is standing techniques. We are not going to go down because we don't have the mat. The opponent doesn't have the gi. So they will do uchikomi and maybe kuzushi, a few of uchikomi and a few of kuzushi. Okay. Uchikomi is about getting into a technique, a sample of technique and coming out of it. And kuzushi is how you handle your opponent in terms of judo-gi.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a look at these competitions because, Duncan, the competitions, there was the African Senior Championships individual in Morocco. And what were some of the lessons that were picked up for you and also for your coaching staff?
Technically, the sport has gone really high, and unfortunately, if we can come to our technical part of it, is that the Kenya Judo Federation has not really invested in. This sport is not ours. It's not like athletics. It's naturally not ours. We have, for the time we've been in office, we've not invested in those people believe to be it is theirs, like the Japanese coaches, which we have requested the International Judo Federation to give us to second as a coach, and that is happening this year. We are going to have a coach from April from the International Judo Federation. At the same time, we have engaged the Japanese embassy to see if they can slot in volunteers from the JICA and maybe get the sport moving. Our main issue in terms of development was to get the numbers, which now we've grown from 4 clubs when we took office to 18 clubs currently. And we are actually getting into the counties where now the Sports Act addresses, whereby we need more counties in terms of the sport and also the numbers in terms of who will play and who will not play.
What are the cultural perceptions that you're trying to break when it comes to judo? Because when it comes to combat sports, ideally they're meant to be self-defense, but there are those who tend to abuse the skill and the knowledge they gain.
We have a biggest, this is something which I've seen in so many parents. They see the sport as a way to make, rather get their kids into indisciplined cases. But for our case, the moment you learn the basics, the first 3 months of the basics of judo is that personal discipline. So when the child learns judo or any person learns judo, the perception is that I will fight any enemy close to me. But by the time you learn the basics for the first 3 months, every kind of negative aspect in terms of judo goes away and you become that gentle person. Judo, if you can define judo, judo is about gentleness and to do. So it is only gentleness. So there's nothing about being indisciplined in this case. So I will ask those people who perceive that combat sports, or rather martial arts sports, is about indiscipline or is about preparing yourself for war. That's not the case. It's about discipline, nothing more.
Discipline and all about that. Well, we say that we're going to have some demonstration, and so, Bonachamirio, this is now your language. And so we have got Peterson Gadiro and Zedi Cherotich. So they're going to take us through some demonstrations. Because we do not have the mat, then we're not going to have to see anyone pinned down. But Duncan, you could take us through this so that Peterson and Zedi can demonstrate this for us.
Okay, I'm going to maybe mention maybe 5 techniques which they will enter, and we have 2 opponents in judo. We have uke and we have tori. Tori is the attacker and uke is the person receiving the techniques. So Kadiru, who doesn't have a gi, will be tori, and Zedi, who is having the judogi, will be uke. So we shall start with kuzushi. Just hold your opponent in the right kuzushi. Yeah, that's bowing. When you bow in judo, means that you accept your opponent and you will appreciate everything which is happening. Actually, judo, there is no winner.
Duncan, maybe we can take that bow again before they do. They can bow again so that our viewers can get that. So let me start again. Good. So.
Bowing is about accepting your opponent. Judo, when I say gentleness, you bow before and you bow after competition, or you bow before training, or when you want to do any demonstration in judo, or rather you bow when you are entering into a dojo. A dojo is a training area for judo. So I would like you to do kuzushi, hold your opponent rightly. Yeah, that is kuzushi. Then from there you can do ippon soinage. Don't take her down. Yep. That is ippon soinage. Left and right. The opponent should turn on the other side so that it can be viewable. Yeah, left. Yep. That's the first technique in judo we learn is ippon soinage. There are 3 types of soinage. There is ippon, morote, and dropping soinage. But majorly we specifically do ippon and morote soinage. Morote soinage. If you are turning right, your opponent should be on the other side. That is morote soinage. Left. Your stance should be perfectly put. Go. Go to arai gosh. That is hip technique. Arai gosh. Go. Just do 3 continuously. That is arai gosh. Left. The main aspect in terms of doing this in judo is actually to stabilize the balance of your opponent. The center of gravity should be moved from where it is for you to be able to put down your opponent. When you pin down your opponent or you are making your opponent go down, full points is ensuring your opponent has fallen down full back. When he falls down sitting or on the side is a half point, but a full back with the speed you apply is an ippon, which drives the opponent out of the game. Go to...
I have one question I saw about that soinage where you are. What is the key difference? And maybe Peterson and Zedi, this is where you can come in. between the two where, where you're trying to get your opponent, using the shoulder.
Yeah.
Just that key difference, because it is, it looks, the motion looks the same, but there's some slight difference.
Do Ippon. Yep. You lock the arm, and your opponent comes from the side.
Okay.
Do Morote. Sorry.
Okay. He can put it in the back pocket of his trousers. It's okay. Then we'll have it fixed.
Morote, the same way. See, that one will lift your opponent. Morote will twist on the side. So if you look at, he is lifting it. Morote is lifting, and Ippon is twisting from the side.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Duncan, now coming through this and with those basic techniques, then just take us, through how someone now is able to move up the ranks. And as with most of the martial arts, you are identified by the color of the belt that you have. Okay,
in Judo, we have yellow and white belt at the basic, as a beginner, yellow and white belt. Then you grow from blue, green, brown, black, and then black is first dan. Then you go up to 5th dan, that is black belt. Then you change to 6th dan, that is white and red. We have up to 10 dan, but mostly people range between 6 and 8, because when you grew from 2nd dan black belt to going to up, is about achievement in terms of life changes and everything else. But from 1 to 4 is about judo mostly. But when you go from 4 to the rest is about what impact have you brought to the community, to the world, or what have you done generally in terms of judo affecting lives or changing lives.
The other thing that you have mentioned and is all about cadets, people who are coming in fresh into the game. Just give us the full background of cadets program that you are instituting, and we know that there is a cadets coach who's there so that Kenya can build up to the Dakar Youth Olympics.
In judo, we start at an early age of 5 years, and by the age of 9, you can enter your child into a competition to the age they would wish to play judo. But cadet starts from, internationally, cadet starts from 14 to 17 years. As Kenya Judo Federation, we have identified these ages, 14 to 17, and by the time they will be in Dakar, they will be about 20 years and below. So the youth games in Dakar, the Youth Olympic Games in Dakar will be playing under 20 years, and our competition now is between the age of 14 to 18 years. So for us to be able to have a cut age at the age of 20 by 2026. We are going to divide the country into 3 parts: the coast, Nairobi, being the central, and the North Rift. We have judo in Nakuru, we have judo in Kapenguria, and we have judo in Lodwar. So we will centralize it in either Nakuru or Baringo, so that we will capture these athletes during holidays. So, because most of these athletes are school-going children.
Yes.
So our intention is to ensure that they are more close to their schools or to their homes by dividing into 3 parts. The Nairobi, that is Kajiado, Kiambu, and everybody else will be Nairobi. Kilifi, Mombasa, and Kwale will be in Mombasa. This will enable parents even to be able to access their children during holidays, and again support them in the training areas.
Having the judo, the coaching staff now trained, especially knowing very well that there is a shift in our education system at times with sport being given more consideration. What is the links that you're trying to have, say, with schools or people in the grassroots, so that there is continuous training rather than, you know, at times what we would say, wait for the holiday camp?
Considering the expense to develop judo, we have engaged the International Judo Federation, and we are actually getting around 600 tatamis by April this year. We have asked the government on the same. At the same time, we had a meeting with organized by National Olympic Committee at Manzoni last year. Unfortunately, we had KIDC, the Ministry of Sports department, a department dealing with curricular-based.
The Kenya Institute for Curriculum Development, KIC.
Yes, KICD. So we engaged them, and they gave us avenues on how we can integrate the sport into the education system, and we are following on that to ensure that we are not missing any law and be fighters, and that is one. Two, the places we have centralized our sports are social places, a place whereby we have young people who would sometimes idle out there, like these humble backgrounds. Like, for instance, we have Kware in Rongai, we have the beach families in Diani, same to Malindi. We actually, where our sport is based mostly in slum dwell areas, or rather where we can access these youths easily, rather than places whereby we have other activities which these young youths can be engaged to.
Well, Duncan, we've got two judokas with us, Peterson Gadiro, and also we have got Zedi Cherotich. So already we have been given a display of two modes, two of the ways that they do too. We've seen the Ippon that has been there, and you can see how they combat. Now, Duncan, you could take us through the other three that you mentioned.
Okay, we can do Uchimata. Three consecutively. 1, 2, 3. With that speed, yes. Change. Taitoshi. Change. Obiogosh. In Japanese, obi is the belt. So you hold the belt from the back side. Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much, Peterson and Zedi Gadiro and Zedi Cherotich. Two judokas. We'll be coming back to them in a short while as they give us, their outlook for the year 2024 and also the African Games. But right now, let us move over to the Mombasa SK Showground in Nyali constituency, where the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, is hosting key state agencies and stakeholders for the Coast Region Conference on ending illicit brews, drug and substance abuse.
Alcohol consumption stands at 13.9% against a national average of 11.9%. The youth between 15 and 35 years are the most affected. Cases of children aged 11 years and even below abusing alcohol and drugs have been reported in this region. Of deep concern is that illicit brews are also thriving in this region. Indeed, between January and September 2023, over 160,000 liters of illegal poisonous brews were nabbed in this region. Kilifi County has the highest usage of packaged and traditional alcohol, while Mombasa is leading in consumption of changa. Taita Taveta has the highest use of second-generation alcohol. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, while Mombasa and indeed the coast region was mainly a transit of illegal drugs and substances, it has now become a profitable destination with a thriving market. Hard drugs, including heroin and cocaine, have permeated the region, with the most affected counties being Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi, and Lamu. Nationally, about 26,000 people inject themselves with heroin, cocaine, and other hard drugs, and of these, 89% are youthful men. Mombasa, Kwale, and Kilifi are among the top 5 counties in the country, accounting to 43% of people who inject themselves with drugs. The other 2 counties are Nairobi and Kiambu. Latest reports show that Coast now hosts up to 18,000 users of injectable drugs, and mainly our young population. One of the biggest negative impacts of injections is the spread of HIV/AIDS. In Kenya, the prevalence of HIV/AIDS among people injecting drugs is 18.7%, against 4.3% among the general population. This is about 4 to 5 times risk of contracting the virus through sharing of needles and syringes. Besides HIV, they are exposed to hepatitis B and C. Because of rejection from families and stigma from society, most drug abusers stay together in dens and dungeons. This increases the risk of contracting tuberculosis and other communicable diseases. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, crime rate is also very high at the coast, particularly in Mombasa County. Juveniles and youths trapped in drugs engage in lethal crimes to finance their abuse of hard drugs. As you may bear witness, the deadly gangs, armed with crude weapons, terrorize people in Likoni, Kisauni, the Old Town, among other areas. At family level, domestic violence has been linked to alcohol, drugs, and substance abuse. For instance, a study on the negative impact at the coast and central Kenya placed intimate violence at 33.3%, economic violence at 16.7%, physical violence at 15.1%, and sexual violence at 7.1%. Ladies and gentlemen, with about 18,000 injectable drug abusers in this region, we cannot sit back and watch as our young people are driven to extinction. It is for this reason that the government has convened this conference of diverse stakeholders to dissect this matter and come up with a joint strategy of saving our young people and our country. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, our porous borders and the open seas are under sharp focus. Rogue security and officers of other security agents, state agencies, have been compromised in corruption by merchants of death for far too long. Brewers of poisonous alcohol, drug peddlers, and barons belong to jail. State officers abetting this illegal trade have no room under this administration. Your time is up. You have two choices: to work or simply just walk away. Life in Kirinyaga County, where police officers had the mindless courage to steal and sell toxic alcohol, exhibits, with sheer impunity, is shocking. And we are ready to send people to jail, including those who work for government. If you still want to serve this government, you must map out all official and unofficial entry points. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, in the 6 counties, we only have 2 public rehabilitation centers. Miritini Treatment and Rehabilitation Center in Mombasa, which is run by Nakada, and the Kwale County Government Rehabilitation Center in Kombani. This is against 14 private facilities, charging from 90,000 Kenya shillings or more for a 3-month program. This is not affordable to most families. We cannot concentrate resources on development as our children are ruined and killed. I challenge our counties, led by governors and deputy governors who are here, to channel revenue collected from alcoholic drinks licenses into building and equipping rehabilitation centers. This will be part of the support system in the recovery strategy as we seek to restore the dignity of our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, similarly, none of the 6 counties has enacted a specific legal framework for containing alcoholism and hard drugs. I note that Mombasa County is making progress in developing a legal framework. As I urge the county to expedite this process, I encourage the other governors and county governments to adopt a legal framework to complement national laws in providing a structured approach to defeating drugs. There is also an urgent need to review and strengthen the existing laws on manufacturing.
That is Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who is hosting various key state agencies and stakeholders at the Coast Regional Conference on ending illicit brews, drugs and substance abuse in Mombasa. This is happening at the ASK Showground in Nyali constituency. And also in attendance are cabinet secretaries, governors, MCAs. We've got members of the National Assembly, top security chiefs, and he will also commission new classes at Freetown later in the afternoon. That's at around 2 p.m. So our team in Mombasa is going to be giving us the report from down at the coast. Well, we continue with our conversation on sport, and we are talking about judo. And in studio with me, I've got the Deputy President of Judo Kenya, Duncan Chemirio. And we've got 2 judokas, Peterson Gadhiro and Zedi Cherotich. So, Duncan Chemirio, we were going through a demonstration. We've just give us a quick recap of the 4 demonstrations that we've had so that we get the final one, and we also get to hear something from we get to hear something also from our judokas there.
Okay, I can clearly say that when you are doing judo, as I said before, the aspect is getting the balance of that person. Judo as low as 60 kgs can still subdue 100 kg. The inventor of the judo sport was actually a guy who really got tormented in jiu-jitsu and felt like, I want to think of something different in terms of how to bring down huge people. And this was way back 18th century, and the issue was the fighting skills in the Japanese culture. So whatever, the 2 are almost the same weight and in terms of weight category, but Kadhiru's side is men. Their weight category is categorized differently. Kadhiru is under 81, and we have her as under 78 kgs. And she will not play, when we are doing competition, she will not play anybody lower than 63 kgs. Lower than 70 kgs, or she will not play anybody above 78 kgs. That is the set standard in terms of competition rules. The same to Kadhiru. So when we were doing the techniques, all the techniques they did are hip techniques. We would have also the leg, the feet techniques, which is the last one will be Ouchigari.
Oh.
Kadiru, try Ouchigari. Then you all back the leg and push the body. So if you can see what he's doing. All these things happens in a surprise way. There's pulling and there's pulling the leg and there's pushing. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so let me come over to you now, Zedi and Peterson. So Zedi is the one in a Judo. Zedi, let's just talk about how you have been improving this, because as from the demonstration we can see, it is about how you balance your power of that you have got using the weight of your opponent, and also the aspect of surprise, as Duncan has mentioned. Zedi, just tell us how you've seen this improve on your side.
Actually, I came to Judo when I knew nothing. And when I just came Judo, I got some coaches. They trained me well. And by the time 2021 came to an end, I had known 2 techniques. So come last year is the time when I managed to know all the techniques, and I'm now focusing for these All African Games where I will use the techniques I know for now.
Just looking at the year ahead, are the African Games qualifying events for the Paris Olympics? Your schedule of activities for 2024, Zedi? Zedi, so the question I'm asking is,
yes,
with the African Games coming up next month, and
yes,
also we've got the Paris Olympics in July and August, what is your schedule of competitions for the coming few months, starting with the African Games and also after that, the qualifiers for the Olympic Games?
For now, I'm focusing for the whole African Games, and if things all goes on well, and my points, if I will increase the points for if I increase the points that I have right now, I think I'll manage to be in the Paris Olympic Games. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Zedi. Now, Peterson, just the same questions to you. From the demonstrations, we see how you use your power, how you use your opponent's weight, and the element of surprise. How have you seen these 3 aspects coming into your style of play?
Okay, first thing, Judo is all about hard work and training. So I've been working hard towards the next competition, which will be the All African Games. It's not easy as you train, but it's all about focus. And I'm targeting to come back with a medal. Yeah.
What have you seen as the level of competition on the African continent so far, from all the events that you have been to?
The level of competition in African is so high, but that doesn't mean I can't perform. It means I should pull up my socks, and I've been doing that. Waking up early, training more, and focusing. Yeah.
All right, Peterson Gadiro, who is a judoka, he's in the under 81 kg division in the men's competition, and Zedi Terotich, she competes in the under 78 kg division when it comes to the women's. And we wish you all the best as you look forward to the African Games and as you train. Thank you very much, Zedi and Peterson, for being with us today and the demonstration.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let me come back to you, Duncan, as we wind this down. Looking at those 4 slots and also Sami Sang is going to be the TM. How are they preparing for the African Games in Ghana?
As Kenya Judo Federation, we have done our bit, and the long-awaited day has come, and our team will be getting to the camp next week. And I believe what we've impacted our athletes as Kenya Judo Federation will bring us results. Another thing is that we have, as a federation, we have engaged the government, and we are anticipating of positive support from the government starting from next month, because the promise and also the agreement that we made is that our support will come in handy from next month according to the plan of the government, which we believe it will booster the efforts we are doing to ensure that we qualify our athletes to the Olympics. Another thing is that we as sportsmen and women, we appreciate the fact that the Sports Act is coming for amendment, which we have been waiting for a very long time. And this will also, we will also see the reason to fill the gaps where we have been missing 1 or 2 or 3 things, so that we can be able to move forward as a family.
Now, the other one is, what are the opportunities, for example, that are there for people who would like to be involved with judo? For example, you mentioned about, the need for about 600 tatamis. That is the mats that you use. So basically, what opportunities abound?
For the young athletes, those are still in school, and maybe those who finished Form 4 last year, the International Judo Federation has opened a scholarship gate, which actually we have one athlete so far in Hungary who is doing nursing, Bachelor of Arts in Nursing. We have been having these opportunities every year, but at times it comes in late and we cannot make it in time. But this year, the opening is March, and our athletes in judo will get free, imagine getting a full scholarship. It's a stipend of around 82 Hungary franc for the next 4 years doing your academic there. So
that's 82,000 Hungarian.
Yeah, 82,000 Hungarian. This is something which we didn't have before, and it is coming in handy. Our appearance out there for the last 5 years has made the International Judo Federation to concentrate in terms of judo development in Kenya.
Well, what some great news coming through. And now, after the African Games, just, you could highlight some of these opportunities that are the next events between May, April. I think we'll be talking basically April, May, and June in the build-up to the Olympics.
Yeah, we have the African Open in Luanda, Angola. Then we will have, in April, we have the Continental Championship in Egypt. Then we have African Open in Cote d'Ivoire and Niger for the last events, then the World Championship in Doha, and next will be Olympics.
So now athletes who may have received invitations or participation opportunities?
So far not yet, but we are anticipating that we will qualify a few, 1 or 2, 3 athletes.
I think it was last year, but when the junior championship was hosted here in Kasarani.
Yes.
What were the learning lessons and the benefits that you have picked up from that?
For us to even grow to 18 clubs today, the hosting gave us an opportunity of mats. We got 600 mats during that period. It was donated for that purpose of that event. And also our athletes, a number of 97 athletes, were exposed to an international event which they have never been before. In the normal events, when we travel internationally, we travel with 10, 15, or 20 athletes. But on this case scenario, we exposed 97 athletes in that championship. Hosting is beneficial to the government, and it also actually brings an instant development of the sport. Yep.
Well, thank you very much. Duncan Chamiro, he is the Deputy President of Judo Kenya, and he was here with 2 athletes, 2 judokas. Peterson Gadiro and Zedi Cherotich, and the conversation was about judo, especially the preparation for the African Games. And for the two athletes, we wish them all the best, and also such that they can move up the rankings and also get invitations to participate. And this is in the Olympics and also the other championships that Duncan has mentioned. Thank you very much, Duncan, for your time this morning, and also for your athletes. All the best. All right, we'll be taking a short break, and when we do come back, we'll be talking about Tarmac racing, and we will be joined by Joe Murai and Umang Suni, who are directors of Delta Motorsport. They're coming up after this short break.
Ili kupata uzembe kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza *812 *498#.
Hakuna baraka yoyote katika uzembe. Uzembe huleta umasikini, upweke na sikia. Umepewa mikono na akili. Ondoka, nenda katafute, kafanye kazi. Na usione kidogo ukakidharau.
Kupata uzembe kama sikiza tune, bonyeza *812 *498#. *812 *498#.
Sai sipotezi muda, nikitaka mimi nafuata buda na vile najenga inanijenga, vile najenga future. Yo, we're gonna say Sandabi hapa, aka the new sheriff in town, and you're watching Grapevine on KBC.
Nindo ninajidai, zikwape marizwa lai, plaga nafika tisai.
Those who attended this year's Magical Kenya Open were satisfied with the experience and memories acquired. A vibrant atmosphere filled the air.
When I dance, I get relief.
Dance is a wonderful way for people to connect.
We have amazing comedians who actually work as part of the team, and they've been able to put everything together. You can see different ideas about how things look, the performances, the layout. All of that has been a collaborative effort so that we are able to literally spread the gospel of comedy across the world.
Watu wanatandikwa wale wase wanapigwa viboko.
Usiniite mzee mimi.
Wewe
mama na huyo mzee. Wewe unafanya nini? Mimi nafanya nini? Najuaje si labda ni bwana huyo mama.
Nasikia mzee ni mpishi huko.
Sasa na hiyo chakula yote siende ula.
Kwa sababu wajua vile nyinyi ufanya watu. Mshtakiwa pili una swali?
Hii mbegu mbaya hii.
Lazima usikie huzuni, maana sasa kuku hutakula.
Sasa ukienda ndani kuku hakuna.
Watoto wa siku hizi manze bana. Sasa utaongelesha wazazi vizuri wewe.
Wewe waacha.
Tinaitwa Van from TikTok ya.
Nimekumbukwa na Yesu 2024. Alafu hapo zinashika.
Yes. Mimi kama chipukizi do I qualify to be your sugar your daddy? Ama sugar daddy ni nani huyu?
Well, it depends with your pockets, number one.
Yeah.
Niko na one vovo. Mganga, kwa nini unaniita ukiwa ujudani laani?
Kwa nini mimi nani? Mjukuu wamekatilili wa Menza.
Okay, na mimi utajua mimi ndio mjukuu wa Bob Mane.
Toka kama mkubandike la uso sasa hivi. Uniwekea vya kupiga bonge wale na sima la uso wewe. Mwangalie.
Mimi na Mogaka tunakuanga one thing. In fact, inafaa nikikoa, wewe unaitika.
You not my girlfriend. This is not my type.
Kwani hao watu hawako hapa ndani?
Hawapo.
Siku sasa saizi mimi ndio mkubwa, sasa saizi ndio naandika watu gasi bwana.
And welcome back to Sports Check on this Monday morning. It is the 26th day of February 2024. And it's the day when the Deputy President, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, is addressing matters to do with illicit brews and substance abuse down in Mombasa. And also he will be opening some classes, officially opening some classes in Friar Town later this afternoon. And also it is the day when we've got the national validation exercise on the draft Social Health Insurance Fund regulations of 2024. There is a conference on peace, security and development cooperation also taking place. And also we've got the 6th United Nations Environmental Assembly that is going to be taking place between today and the 1st of March at the United Nations Complex in Gigiri. That's just part of our news cycle. And also from the sporting end, interesting that we were talking about, something to do with the Olympics, but 2 people have been charged in court for saying that they falsely presented themselves as athletes and officials of federations and at embassies, and they said that they were part of those who intend to qualify for the Olympic Games. Investigations were done. It was found out that they are not even associated with such federations, and so they've been taken to court. Part of what we're keeping up with. And also, shortly we shall be speaking with the triumphant Kenya team that won the Africa Cross Country Championships out in Hammamet, Tunisia. So hold on for that. We shall be joining them via Zoom. Coach Joseph Kaugu and will be joining us in a short while via Zoom from there. Our sign language interpreter, Lensa Odingo. Now we move on and let's talk sport and tarmac racing. This is something that a lot of people now seem to be taking an interest in. And yesterday they held the first Tarmac Championship organized by Delta Motorsport, and this was at Whistling Thorns, Kajiado County. So in studio with me, I've got 2 of the directors, Mang Soni, on my immediate left, and on the far left is Joe Murai. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And Joe, you have been involved, with this Tarmac Motorsport, and it's been quite a journey if you were to look through back the 6, 7 years that have been there. Joe, what have you seen with Tarmac Motorsports, where we've seen you do time trials, or say, on some roads, and now we're seeing you do it in, for example, what we'd call circuit racing?
So when we started, generally, we were just doing it for fun, just because we love the cars and we wanted to get guys out of the streets and to do something formal and well organized. And it's really grown. We started Delta together with Umang, and we are trying to make it from like people, before it was just for fun, but now it's actually becoming a proper sport. So yeah, gradually it's actually growing.
And Umang, getting that bag, and because we are a country that is more that has got more of a slant towards rallying, but now getting this tarmac racing, what drove you away from the gravel and the dust and the mud to burning rubber on top?
Yeah, so we obviously grew up watching the rallies when we used to have the Safari Rally back in the days, and now the WRC is back. We've all grown up watching the gravel rallies and all, but I think our interest, like Joe has mentioned, has been on the tarmac side. We do know in Kenya we used to have a very rich tarmac motorsports history, and we used to have a couple of tarmac tracks as well, I think in Nakuru and Embakasi, which no longer exist. So the whole idea when we formed Delta Motorsports in 2019 was to actually see if we can bring back tarmac motorsports to its former glory.
We do hope one day we will have a Tarmac racetrack again in Kenya, where we can attract international events. We do value our local drivers as well. They are the key to us building from this grassroots level again, and hopefully take it further in future.
Joe, for you to getting into Tarmac Motorsports, we know that you pick up your railroad car, do a little bit of boost here and there. Just tell us the process of preparing that car to get to the kind of power that we see displayed.
So, it doesn't have to be all about power. So we're trying to encourage even people who don't have the kind of budgets to enter and race very extreme levels, like the people who actually have very good setups compared to others. You understand? Mm-hmm. So we're really trying to get young guys who, like, there's a guy who came with a Toyota Celica, a very old one, the last event. And to tell you the truth, we didn't even think it will finish. But it did, you see. But he was so encouraged. I know for a fact he's doing the whole championship. You understand? Mm-hmm. So when we tell people to join, we have a scrutineer. He's called Chris. So every car which actually wants to participate for the event, we sit down, we tell them, all of them, to come during the day of the event very early. They come, Chris will have a look at their setups, check any leakages, check the belts, the tires, your brakes, and such things. You understand? So before you are actually allowed, we have confidence that your car won't break down just like that.
Safety-wise.
Yeah, safety-wise. Yeah. So safety is very important for us.
I'll be coming to safety because you mentioned things like belts and that. But how do you classify different cars? Because if I have a budget, say, of 100,000 shillings and person B has got a budget of 500,000 shillings, the things they will do with their cars are different, and we may not be having the same power levels. How do you do that?
So like Joe has mentioned, in terms of classes, we have the four-wheel drive class and the two-wheel drive class. Previously, we used to do only open class. That's how you build a sport from grassroots level. However, this issue of people having different kind of budgets, at the moment, the numbers do not allow us to have different kind of classes. In future, you can have different classes where you'll have 2000cc category, something that is higher than 2000 or 1500cc category in the all-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. This is the debate that has been happening for quite some time. But at the moment, as a club, what we have to see is the number of participants that come and take part. We encourage, you see, four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive covers all kind of cars, all kind of vehicles. So when somebody is trying to think, am I going to be competitive in this class? The most important for any driver who is looking to join is first to join, see where they position themselves, see where they place themselves, and as a club it is our responsibility to see when we have certain category of drivers in numbers who are taking part, then when the season finishes, it's annual. So as the season goes, the next season we will then think of coming up with a different class to cater for some of these drivers.
Joe, think about the two-wheel drive class now, and what you really would want from somebody who's when, say, Chris, your scrutineer, goes to check. You've mentioned something like, about the seat belts, the brakes. What specifically do they check?
Well,
if I can't say with my little bits.
So, we have like a scrutineering sheet. So, you have to check all, basically. So, we'll check for your belts, we'll check for your lights, we'll check for your brakes, if they're actually to power.
Let's talk about the belt first.
Okay.
What kind of seat belts do you want?
No, as long as it's working. Okay, we haven't reached points of using 3-point harnesses and such things yet, because most of these cars don't have cages.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
But we're trying to push for that. So for now, as long as your belt works, and you'd be shocked, those belts can actually do wonders. We make sure your belt is working and it's very well done. And belts actually have expiry dates, so we also check for that. And we also check your tires and such things. There's quite some things we actually check on.
Tires, what kind of tires you see people prefer doing?
Normally, you know, because this is Tarmac Motorsports, so majority of the people come with low-profile street tires. Some do come with also high-performance racing tires, because you see it becomes quite competitive on the track especially, and due to the fact that, you know, we don't have roll cages in the cars yet, we can't push for them. Some of these guys are, you know, coming with their daily drivers. Like you said, you can come with the Vitz as well, and that's what we encourage for people to come with. So we have kept it on closed tarmac tracks, like Whistling Morans is where we held the last event, which is the one that we are seeing on the screen. And it's a small track, right? It's built for go-karting, but it's wide enough, it's big enough for cars to go on and have some fun as well. So this is just the beginning stages of where we can take Tarmac Motorsports to. So at the moment, we keep it to the levels of where these kind of belts and all that can handle. But in terms of tires, there are various type of tires people come with. They normally come and start with their regular street tires that they use for daily driving. But as they get more and more competitive, you know, they look for budgets to try and come up with racing tires as well.
Formats of racing, because already I can see from your 2024 championship, we can see that there is a Gymkhana dash, there's a Motokana, and there is, you know, a time and track attack. So basically what you had yesterday was a track attack at Whistling Morans, Joe. Yeah. Just take us through each one of these events that you do.
So the time attack, as you can see on the screen, is generally Whistling Morans. So it's a 1.4 kilometer stretch. So you do, it's 4 laps. First one is warm up, 2 very hot, and then 1 slowing down to exit. So that's the format for a time trial. So we'll have 2 events for this year. And then the next one we're planning to do Machakos, which should be a 2-day event, but it's a track attack basically, but it's longer. I think it's 2 kilometers or something. Yeah. So after that we have Naivasha. Naivasha is Gymkhana or head-to-head. So either or. We'll have 2 events actually. One, I'm guessing on May, and then the other one, I think the other one is in December. Yeah.
November, yeah.
November, sorry, yeah.
So, Gymkhana, when you say it's one-on-one, just explain.
No. Gymkhana, basically it's 2 cars going head-to-head. So we create a circuit which is mirrored identically from this side to this side. So basically they're just actually doing the same thing, but they're just on different tracks. Same place, same venue, but it's amazing to watch them. The competition there is on another level.
What you call Motokana?
Actually, so what this Gymkhana and Motokana is it's based on the Gymkhana format. When we used to host our drags in Gymkhana, we used to have Gymkhana on the first day, and the second day would be the drags. So we'll go on to that as well shortly. But in Gymkhana, it's like a tight technical course, which is designed by the officials. You have cones, and you know the cars have to maneuver around that circuit. So what we did here at Naivasha, the Gymkhana dash and the Motokana, the head-to-heads, we set up identical tracks like Joe has explained, and 2 cars battle it out together. So they're quite technical, they're tight, you don't carry that much speed. And we do it at the Naivasha, where they have the service park for the WRC.
Yeah, that's 5 acres of land. It's a huge place.
It's a huge place, yeah, exactly. So, you know, it gives good playing ground for people to come out, you know, and when it's head-to-head, it's fun for the fans and the spectators to watch. Even for the drivers, they're on the edge. They can see where their, opponent is, or basically on the track. And that's basically how the National Tarmac Championship looks like. But if we look at the club championship and the other things that we're looking to do this year, we have a drag club level championship where we'll do the drags and Gymkhana, like I've just explained. Drags is basically where, again, 2 cars are going in just a straight line. It's a quarter mile. We normally organize this on airstrips, and people battle it out for the fastest time. That's where you see cars coming with very, very high performance. They're very heavily modified and looking at really high performance.
Well, very interesting, Umang, because you mentioned that. What was the reaction, I think, when you took the one event back to Nyahururu at the airstrip?
No, that wasn't us.
It wasn't you?
Yeah,
no.
We were actually just helping them organize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the ones that you held, for example, at the Kenyan places?
Masinga. Actually, the last event we did in Masinga was in 2019. Yeah.
So we did an event in 2019 in Masinga, and it was quite good. But we held one event in 2019 in Tatu City. And that was a huge success, very good engagement. In fact, we had 2 events on the same day. Each of the events had almost, 2 of the events combined had 100 participants altogether, 100 entries. And the amount of spectators we had at both events was a phenomenal number.
But you know, the drivers were from Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya.
We had quite a lot of Tanzanians who came to take part, a lot of Ugandans who came to take part as well. So since then, as Delta, we've not yet organized a drag event. We're still looking for good, suitable locations where we can host this year's drag events that we have.
When you go looking out for an airstrip, what conversations do you have with the Civil Aviation Authority in Kenya? Because we know there are some airstrips that are not in use, and also that you get one that's, say for example, a drag event, you get one that still has got good tarmac, or grass hasn't overgrown it.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what we look at is we must make sure that the tarmac is flat, no potholes and all that. Obviously, grass, like you mentioned, shouldn't be there as well. But most importantly, we need to make sure that at least the airstrip is at least a kilometer long, because it's a quarter mile, and these cars, by the time they're reaching the finish line, some of them are doing over 250 kilometers an hour. So we must make sure they have a good runoff to be able to brake, stop, and be able to come back. And also we look for like a small parking area where they normally would park their aircrafts and all, which is what we use to now set up the Gymkhana course.
Very, very well. Now, the other one is now reaching out to people so that you can have this, because just looking at some of them numbers that some of the entries that you have been receiving, and I can say straightforward, you're doing the KNRC, the Kenya National Rally Championship. I think the last had 8 entries. It was Eldoret. Yeah. But how do you keep encouraging these people to come in with and compete, as they grow into the sport?
What we do, especially with the drivers that come and take part in the Tarmac Championships, or even just the club level championships, or what we normally do as Delta, we organize track days. There are a lot of drivers out there who basically don't know where they fit within the professional race, not professional, but the races that are actually taking part, the competitive drivers. So what we do is we encourage people to just come, see where they fit themselves in, and then we try to keep progressing, and we give lots of advice and how to improve the skill level on the track. Also their setup, how they can improve their performance. And also the other thing is entry to our sport is a little bit easier than entry to the KNRC. The costs are quite high, when you're looking to enter into a KNRC. And in comparison, like you mentioned, if you have to come with the WITS also, just a few things would make sure that are in place, and you'll be able to enter. Just like the Toyota Celica that came, it was a very old, I think 1990s car that came in. He basically just put it together, got it running, and all the things that we basically need to check is like the brakes and the tires and all these sort of things, and he was able to take part with that.
Now, Joe, one of the things is that tarmac racing has been accepted by the Kenya Motorsport Federation now. I think last month at the awards, and also, your 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive competitors were champion. How has this changed the entire for you who are on tarmac racing? How has this changed the entire outlook?
No, it's giving people like motivation to enter into sports. To tell you the truth, as Umang said, it's so expensive entering into rallying.
Rallying, yes.
Yeah, so you need sponsors and all that. Most of these people who actually participate in our events are using their daily cars. So it's, for them, it's for the love. They love it and they want to see their limits and to enjoy themselves. So it's really been accepted by a lot of people, and I have a good feeling about it this year.
So the main thing is, how much has it changed for you at Delta Motorsport since you started, you came under the umbrella of the KMSF?
We've had a lot of positive feedback, and we're getting a lot of entries actually.
I think the thing here with KMSF, I mean, when we started Delta, we were under the foundation in the initial stages. We're still trying to figure out how to, go about this affiliation. And this is a sport where we are trying to see how we bring it off from the streets, like Joe mentioned in the beginning, and not a lot of fees were involved in organizing these sports in the initial stages. So as we got affiliated with the Kenya Motorsports Federation, the good thing is we have access now to FIA. We can build our regulations based on what they normally do all across the world. And similarly, we're building now we already have the track attacks and for closed circuits. We already have built for drags also, but we're now looking to build for hill climbs, which again will happen on closed roads. They're very famous across the globe as well, and we want to try and see if we can have annual hill climbs throughout the year. And also we're looking now to build our regulations, and we're going through some training with FIA on drifting as well. Drifting has become very famous around the world. It's a new discipline. I mean, it's not that new also, but it's something that is coming up, and people love to watch drifting. So we're looking to see, we're going to try and organize some training events this year within our calendar. And it's not only just the club being ready for it, but it's also the drivers, the cars, all these sort of things. So we're now just trying to put together how we can assist some of these drivers bring out their vehicles, and hopefully we'll be able to have a championship soon, maybe in 26, 27.
Well, actually, now you talk about hill climb, and I think one of the events that you used to do when the time trials used to take place, there is the Kiambu circuit, the Kiambu ring, that all the way up to Limuru. How would you describe, setting up a hill climb and some of the places where you find would give you some very good roads?
Well, doing Kiambu was not a joke. Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was like 21 kilometers, and cars were actually doing 7 minutes. So it was a quick thing. So whatever we're planning for this year, it won't be that long, and we can't take it to that level again. So we'll be doing short, very tight hill climbs, but very competitive. Yeah.
What kind of place would you be looking at if you were to mention, or say, a kind of hill that somebody would know?
We were we would love to do E10. E10 is beautiful for a hill climb, but it has bumps and the road is not that well maintained of late. But we were considering Muranga. They're very willing to accept us, and they really want us to come back. We've done a couple of events in Muranga, so they were very excited about it.
How do you then, for example, mitigate against inclement weather, especially with things like hill climbs? And knowing places like Muranga, with that red soil and how it runs off onto roads.
Yeah, I mean, the moment you start having rain on an event like that, it becomes difficult because people don't really come with wet tires and things like that. We're not at that level yet. So as officials of a club, we just have to basically make sure the track is safe enough for the drivers to still get back on it. There are times where events have run basically in the rain, but we just have to basically make sure that we are ready for it, and also sort of inform the drivers that it's wet out there, so they have to be a little bit careful, which is what we were anticipating yesterday at Whistling Morans as well. Luckily the rain didn't come down, but we had the drivers ready, we had everybody ready just in case it happened.
Now, everyone says let's get ready to learn how to do this. How do you get into this tarmac racing community? And where do people go and start training?
So basically, like I mentioned earlier, we have been organizing these track days. We have our pages and social media, our email addresses, and people know where to reach us on, especially if they want to do anything in tarmac. So we do get a lot of drivers who reach out to us saying they are really interested in getting onto tarmac. Some have their vehicles, some don't have cars. So, we try to guide them according to how they should, take it up. And normally when we organize these track days, which we are planning for some this year, we invite them over, basically show them how things will go along, especially what to expect on a tarmac racing day. And and like I mentioned earlier as well, there's nothing like you need to be ready for it or you're not ready for it. It's just basically coming out, even if it was on a race day, as long as you have the rightful vehicle, which is what we can check on the track days, they can be able to come and take part. It's not just always about the competition, it's also to come out and have fun as well. If you're a new entrant and you've not positioned yourself, it's basically for you to come out on a race day, even if it's just on the main event days, to just come out, have fun, and see where you place yourself. Not just go compete for the first position or the top drivers, and just basically take it over from there.
Joe, what have some of the things that that have changed from your perspective, say as a driver, that you've picked up from doing tarmac racing, that you would like people to get to know, so that they know that this is how you race safely, and this is how you can use some of the skills learned in everyday driving?
So this one, I'd rather he does it. Yeah, because he's actually, even the car you're actually seeing on the screen, the white one, it's his actually. Yeah. So he's the best person to answer that.
But I'll also come to you because it rubs off. Anyway, man, all right.
No problem. So basically, when you're on the track, and this is the advice I give to almost all the drivers who we try to help, is first of all, get on the track, just drive around the circuit. See how the corners are, see how you feel like you'll be able to take at what speeds and all that, and basically the straights as well. Most important thing is use your instincts as you're getting into a corner, just like you'll be driving on the road. See when you think you need to brake, you brake hard, you don't brake softly on a race day. Brake hard, see where you are on the corner, and if you took it nicely and easily and comfortably and you feel like there's still some room for improvement, it happens lap after lap, right? You need that seat time, you need that time on the track. You need to keep practicing as well. That's how you will be able to improve your times, improve how you take some of these corners. But it's basically just keeping on doing it, and also making sure that you understand your car as well. Each car is different. If you see somebody's braking much later, visually if you see from outside, this person is using this marker as a braking point. You don't go out and just try that. You need to see how your car does it as well. So basically when you're getting into all the different various corners on a track, you try and see where you're braking, how close you are to the turn, how easily you're taking it. Are you struggling? Is your car, basically, did you brake too late? So, you use some of these things, and then you look at markers on the track, which will tell you where you should be braking, and things like that.
Joe, an appeal to keep supporting this. We know motorsport, any form, whether it's on 2 wheels or 4 wheels, and is not easy to run. But what's the main support that would come to your kind of event? And can we get to a level where we become like Uganda, where we tell people you're paying so much?
No. Okay. The good thing is we get support because, we don't have sponsors who actually support us. So we have to sell our tickets to get something back to actually make sure the events run. But we're really trying to get support from any. We've been actually approaching a couple of companies and banks and such to see if they can come on board and help us make the sport grow. It's not that easy. Mostly, Kenya is a rally kind of community, so this is something totally new. Even though it's getting a lot of traction, it's a little bit new, until now.
For the events that you've held, what has been the fan reaction? Because
they love it.
You do it for the...
No, trust me, they love it. The good thing is, like the last event we did, we put in a combination of different things. So we have bikers who actually support us. We have drifting, we have tarmac racing, and trust me, guys really push the cars. So it's a lot of things in one. So it gives even fans who actually come to watch our events something extra. I know rally is something very unique. You'll see a car, it will pass you. You'll wait until the afternoon to see the car again, and then you go home. Now here you're seeing cars every 2 minutes. You get every time there's something going on.
And the outreach main means is what, at the moment, socials.
We're using Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, it's basically the social media platforms that we use to reach out to all the drivers, and we make sure that people know that we have an event coming soon. So, and you know, we engage them through activations and things like that as well. So basically, we reach out to them mostly through social media.
Yeah. Okay, so just basically looking at your calendar, the next stop should be
Machakos.
Machakos.
Yeah.
The Machakos People's Park in May.
Yeah. So you remember the former governor said he had actually built a racetrack. It's just a road, but we appreciate what he did. So it's something very unique. You should come.
And just give a description of the road, because I know part of it has been used by the Rallycross.
Yeah, so RX used to have like a Rallycross. Rallycross, sorry.
RX. Don't worry. We don't laugh at Japanese when they speak funny.
Yeah, so, but they use part of it off-road and part Tarmac. Yeah, but us, we just use the whole circuit.
Yeah, so there's a section there which in the middle they have a dirt patch, which the RX graded. So they do bring a lot of the mud onto the main road as well. So when we're going in for our event, we have to do a bit of cleanup, because basically we only use the Tarmac section all round.
Well, so ideally it looks like what, an athletics track all round.
Yeah, something like that, but it's got a few corners here and there.
2 kilometers of it, the 27th of May, be sure to be at the Machakos People's Park and watch all of that. And remember, get them on their socials. Thank you very much, Mangsuni.
Thank you so much.
And also, John Murray, directors, Delta Motorsport. Well, moving away from speed on 4 wheels, what about speed on 2 legs? Because Kenya did dominate the Africa Cross Country Championships that took place in Hammamet, Tunisia yesterday. Kenya won 4 gold medals, 3 silver and 2 bronze medals. And we are getting into a conversation now with the team Kenya coach, who are still in Hammamet and they'll be traveling back. And let's now move on and hear from Coach Joseph Kahogo. Coach Joseph Kahogo, a very good morning to you from Nairobi, and congratulations first.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And also Victor Mutai, who was gold medal, and Cynthia Chepngeno, who won the senior women's race. First of all, Coach Kahogo, let me start with you. Just give us, basically the whole feel of the preparations that you had. You were training in Ngong, the preparations that you had before you traveled to Tunisia.
Hello?
Okay, Coach Kahogo, let me ask the question again. Just give us, a build-up to the to the African Championships, when you trained here in Kenya and till you got to Tunisia.
Yes, we were training at Gong in Nairobi, Kenya, and we were in the camp about 12 days. And I had 30 athletes, under 20 ladies, under 20 men, senior men and senior women, and also relay team. We trained very well in the camp, and we had no injuries, we had no challenges. And we thank God our plan went well, because when we get to Tunisia, what we are expecting was to win, and that is what happened yesterday.
So, Coach, you could describe for us the course that you found in Tunisia, because cross-country, every course is unique. Just give us of what it looked like in Hammamet.
Yeah, the course of the cross-country yesterday was somehow complicated, because what was hilly toward the finish, and it was also cold and windy during the morning hours. And also the competition was between Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Tunisia, and also other countries. And we did very well, because the first thing, we start with the under 20 men, the under 20 women. And because of as the Ethiopians normally do, they use Kenyans to pay for them. And when I see how the race was, I changed the tactics, and I called my other athletes, under 20 men, and the senior men and senior women, and we changed the tactics, and we said now they have to be in front, and no wait anybody to use them as a pacemakers.
Well, so let's talk about the under 20 women's side. So let me just read them so that our viewers are able to know about this. It is Judy Chepkoech, 2103.68, finishing in 6th place in an event that was held by Ethiopia. Diribe Robert Dida winning that. Ademas Yenesh taking 2nd place. And Dagnau Timebeb taking 3rd place. So from the lessons that you have picked up from this under-20 women's race, what is it that you would like those who want to compete and make Team Kenya for the World Championships to know?
Yes, I'm sure if then they go to the other events, they will be ready. The problem was happened yesterday. During morning hours, it is very windy and also it is very cold. And during our training in Nairobi, when we are in the camp in Nairobi, we are training during the day because we understand that Tunisia was hot. But when we get here, we found that the weather is different because it was very windy and also cold.
Very well. Now let's also talk about the under-20 men's, won by Gideon Kipngetich, Josh Kiprotich, and Titus Kiprotich, taking 1, 2, 3, and Simon Maiwa completing, finishing in 4th place. So that means the team title also going to Kenya. Coach, how did you see these under-20 athletes execute their race, the under-20 men?
No, these men, they are good because even during the training, they did very well. And I was very sure that they will do better in Tunisia. And even the training was, as I was monitoring them, every training where we are doing, where we have done the speed work, I knew when we came here, they would do better. In fact, also Gideon Kimngetich and also Joas Ruto, I knew they would do better in Tunisia because they are very good in training.
All right. Now let me come to the senior athletes, and I come to you, Cynthia, who is the African champion in the senior women's 10-kilometer race. Cynthia Chepngeno winning it in 32 minutes, 31.04 seconds. Virginia Nyambura taking 2nd place, 32 minutes, 33.45 seconds. And also taking 4th place was Gladys Kwamboka. Cynthia, on the Hongera. Cynthia, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Sawa. Cynthia, by the way, you're free to either speak in English or Swahili, whichever you're very comfortable with. Just give us how you felt your preparations go, and also your race yesterday in Tunisia.
Okay, the race yesterday was nice. I thank God. I was not expecting to be the winner for Africa cross country, but I thank God. We had prepared well in training, and we managed to be the winner. And as we always know, that cross country is about teamwork. We team up as a Kenya team to ensure that we come home with a medal.
Just looking, tukiangalia tu muda ambao ulikimbia na dakika 32 sekunde 31, Nyambura naye akamaliza dakika 32 sekunde 33. How close was that contest kati yako na Nyambura?
Kati yangu na Nyambura tuliweza kushirikiana na yeye. Tulikuwa tumehakikisha ya kwamba tumechukua hiyo medali. Hata tukikimbia tulikuwa tumeagree ya kwamba to make sure Ethiopia hawatushinda kama wenye walishinda watu wa 3 kilomita. Tukasaidiana na Nyambura na wengine wetu hadi tukamaliza.
Aya. So Cynthia, next we know that we have got trials coming up for the World Cross Country Championships. Mpango wako ni upi?
Mpango wangu saa hizi ni kuja ning'ang'ane machari yake Mwenyezi niweze kuingia tena timu ya World Cross Country.
Aya. Congratulations on your gold medal, and that is the winner of the senior women's race at the Africa Cross Country Championships that took place in Hammamet, Tunisia. And also joining us now, we have got Victor Mutai, who's in the relay team. Victor, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Just give us what the full, the full training process for you as part of that relay team and how it all went down.
Yeah, my training was good. Even when I was in Keringet, that's my area, where I'm training. And when I managed to be a Kenya team, I was happy. And when we go to Ngong also, our coaches there, they do a good work for us.
Aya, tuambie vile ile mbinu ambayo mliweza kutumia ndio mkashinda hii medali yenu.
Venye nilifanya huko, nilikuwa nataka nikimbie 10K, nikasema wacha nikimbie 2K, nikaingia timu. Sana shukuru Mungu.
Haya. Na ukiangalia kabisa mlivyokimbia kule, ni maneno yapi ungetaka kuambia wale ambao watakimbia 2 kilomita na tunajua ya kwamba ni mbio za relay na wakitafuta nafasi ya kuingia kwa timu ya Kenya? Lipi umejifunza unaweza ambia wengine?
Tukiwa Tunisia venye tuliona 6K Ethiopia walichukua 1 2 3, tukasema sasa, tukakaa chini tukasema hizi medali zimepaki, lazima tuchukue yote, na tukafanya hivyo. Kila mtu alikuwa na morale. Even as when we was in a relay team, we say we want to fight. And then tuchukue call iende Kenya, na tukafanya hivyo.
Haya. Sawa, congratulations. And coach, let me come back to you now. We know Vincent Lagat, he won the senior men's 10-kilometer race, 28 minutes, 31.28 seconds. Naibei Mayabei taking second place, 28.40.27. 9 seconds the gap between first and second. Just give us, a review of what you saw with the senior men's 10-kilometer race.
Thank you. During the race, as I said before, the last meter to finish was a very sharp hill, and that is where our athlete, the second place, was fighting to fight to get number 1. Na hapo ndio tulipata tukaona hiyo mlima iliwakataza nini speed wakuja to the finish.
Aha. Na pengine kwa yale ambayo umejifunza sasa, najua tumeona ya kwamba course zingine ziko na milima. Tumeona kama ile ilikuwa Bathurst Australia, kulikuwa na mlima. Ile ambayo ilikuwa kule Denmark ilikuwa na mlima mkubwa. Ni mafunzo yapi ni mambo yapi ambayo sasa mshajifunza ambayo mngetaka kila mtu ajue kulingana na cross country na course ambazo zina mlima?
Thank you. Ile nimejifunza hapa ni kwamba we have to train in every area, in every weather, so that when we go for competition, we expect any challenges. If kama ni mlima, kama ni baridi, kama ni jua, so we have to train in every area, every courses, every weather, so that we be very ready for any event we are going to be participating in the future.
Very well. For the team that is now here, we know they are preparing now to come and join the challenge to get a place for the World Cross Country Championships that will be taking place at the end of next month in Serbia. The trials are at the Prison Staff Training College in Rono. What is it that you'd like to tell these athletes after coming in from a competition like this?
So after coming back, because we are coming back home tomorrow, I don't think my others where I'm as a coach here in Tunisia, they will have to do more training because they are already they have competed in Tunisia. So what they do before the trials, they just take it easy and maintaining the training and the training which we have done in Gong. So I think most of them they will use that training because they don't have to do more training for the trials.
All right. Thank you very much. And congratulations, Joseph Kahogo, who is coach of Team Kenya. Part of the coaching staff and leading the team. And they won 4 gold medals, 3 silver and 2 bronze, top to the Africa Cross Country Championships. Na pia wanariadha wetu, Cynthia, who won the 10 kilometer senior women's race, Victor Kipkurui, ambaye alikuwa anakimbia relay. And to you, congratulations. Na kesho, mnajua wa Kenya mkishinda, mnajua vile mnakaribishwa
Yeah.
Kwa hivyo makaribisho itakuwa sawa sawa. Murusiki kwa wingi itakuwa.
Asante sana. Nimeshukuru.
Haya, asanteni sana. That is Team Kenya, and they were out there in Tunisia, Hammamet, for the Africa Cross Country Championships. Thank you for joining us via Zoom. Well, now let's move on, and this time round, as we wind down this program, we're going to pay tribute to a Kenyan hero, Henry Rono. Henry Rono broke 4 world records way back in 1978. One of the biggest frustrations he had is that he could not compete at the Olympics when he was at the top of his game. In 1976, Kenya boycotted the Olympics. In 1980, Kenya boycotted the Olympics. That's Montreal and Moscow. That's when he would have competed and he was at his best. 4 days after turning 72, he breathed his last, and he will be laid to rest on Wednesday. Here is a tribute to Henry Rono.
Henry Rono of Kenya, the current world record holder for this event.
81 days, over 4 distances, 4 world records. That is what sets apart the legendary Henry Rono from the rest of the greats in the history of long-distance running. And it all started in Nandi Hills.
I used to listen to in the radio the way from Kipkeno. The one I heard more was 1968. And then I think I don't know how old I was little. I was in primary school. And when you hear that in the radio alone, it really makes you, inspires you. From there I became a runner. And I think by the end of that season, when the season of running comes, I became #1 in my school, just my primary school. And when you become like that, #1, that leads to another school, you know, and that's it. There's no end. I think in that year, I ended up in a district. This is 1971 in the county, Nandi County.
With such a talent, he was able to join the military with ease before he left for the USA.
I asked the army people I want to go to, leave. But I was already made connection to go to America. Because and when I asked the coach, I need to, I'm not that educated, but Washington was already recruiting athletes. I said, yeah, we don't follow about your education. We just come with any little certificate you have. But what we want is you are running. And we'll put you in a university, run for university. But I had people who are connected.
No sooner had he landed in the Washington State University on a track scholarship than he made his intentions clear by going for nothing short of the records.
And in the first week, arriving there, the first meeting, full meet in the university, I just went like that. The next meet is winning. Up to national, NCAA, I'm winning all of them. And people was big, and the media, even I put more pressure to the coach. He said, you're winning everything and you're a freshman. Most people, they don't. I said, no, I have other things going on in my mind.
The most prolific collegiate competitor in the history of track and field in the USA not only won the NCAA's men's cross country twice to become the third person in history to do so, but the 3,000 meters flat and 3,000 meters steeplechase twice, among other numerous accolades.
The progress was going good. So at 78, I told my coach, this year, this is the time I'm going to break the world records. He told me, I told him I'm going to break 4 world records. This year, 1978. I'm telling them now, it's just the beginning of the year. He told me, people will think you are crazy. That's what he said. I said, well, it has to be done this year. So why do you do it now? I said, no, I know why. I already see what's going to happen in how politics is going to get in, I didn't even mention that. I know that in my mind. As we athletes, we can see, but we don't tell anybody. All we want is, okay, I want to run a race somewhere here and there. Because we could not argue with somebody about why they don't let me run here and all of that. No. All you have to say, okay, I'm going to run. And then it's okay. So I already sense that, okay, if I don't do it this year, there will be no any other time to do it.
That set the stage for his 4 world-breaking feats in his most successful year, 1978, where he set a new world record in the 10,000 meters, where he clocked 27 minutes 22.5 seconds, the 3,000 meters steeplechase in 8 minutes 05.4 seconds, the 3,000 meters flat, where he timed 7 minutes 32.1 seconds, and the 5,000 meters in 13 minutes 08.4 seconds in a span of 81 days to better his own 5,000 meters world record in 1981 to 13 minutes 06.20 seconds in Hanok, Norway, by slicing quite some seconds off the previous marks.
I already know what it takes, the training, all the facilities required. The training camp is good, and that's what it takes. Is you have to train like this, you have to go to the gym like this, you have to eat this and this, you stay there, do the same thing like that. It's okay. In April, it's the April 8th. I'm going to start in Berkeley, which I did, California. And that's the first meet for the colleges. Just the first meet. I'm running by myself. Well, I was running with Samson Lumumba and somebody else. But I was not counting on them. Just take me the first 2 laps, and then after 3 laps, then I'm by myself in front.
Leverkusen cruised to a 4-0 win in the Europa League last week. And they went ahead early against Heidenheim. New star Victor Boniface with the strike. Leverkusen were comfortably better than their opponents. But they conceded through Eren Dinkji. The equalizer stunned the home side, but it was soon forgotten. Leverkusen's fantasy football took center stage again. Jonas Hoffmann with a 2-1. An exquisite assist from Ezequiel Palacios. This foul handed Leverkusen an opportunity from the spot. Boniface made sure to bank his 6th goal of the season. Leverkusen's 4th came from a textbook attack. Amin Adli with a chipped finish. Despite the win, Leverkusen slipped behind Bayern because they simply scored more goals.
With a hand in 5 of those 7 goals, Harry Kane led Bayern into top spot.
This is Harry Kane. Harry Kane makes it 6 in 5 games in the Bundesliga, and no man has ever done that before for Bayern in the Bundesliga.
A record-breaking 2nd goal of the day, and then he went on to complete his 1st Bundesliga hat-trick. Typically in England, that rewards you the match ball.
Yeah, I took the ball, I'll get it signed by my teammates, and yeah, it's a nice, bit of memorabilia to keep and, remember this special day.
The England captain has settled in seamlessly in Munich, and he ensured there'd be high spirits all round for his first visit to the Munich Oktoberfest with his entire team the following day. An annual tradition for the Bavarians.
Yeah, I'll just take it all in, I'm there to have a good time and enjoy it, but not too good because we play on Tuesday in the Cup, so we have to be a bit careful.
Amid the festivities lurks Bayern's bona fide superstar, Harry Kane, for whom goals are simply second nature. No wonder they love him here already.
A goal scorer, a leader, and a Bayern man through and through, Harry Kane, our matchday hero.
Why did I place you in that space?
I just have some information that I thought it was wise to let you know.
Oh. We need to diversify and get into other sectors.
What is this idea you're thinking about?
I don't have to explain how I got to know about the drug.
You think I'm the best person to convince Mama Paul, right?
This opportunity needs a lot of money. Do you want an investor or not? It's a big decision.
Are we okay?
In terms of what exactly?
Wait, Olimocha.
What do you want? I thought we spoke about his emotions. Maybe you can come out clean about our killing. You don't know what you are talking about.
Sai sipotezi muda, nikitaka mimi nafuata buda na vile najenga inanijenga vile najenga future. Yo, we're gonna say Sandabi hapa, aka the new sheriff in town, and you're watching Grapevine on KBC.
Nindo ninajidai, zikwapi marizo lai.
Those who attended this year's magical Kenya Open were satisfied with the experience and memories acquired. A vibrant atmosphere filled the air.
When I dance, I get relief.
Dance is a wonderful way for people to connect.
We have amazing comedians who actually work as part of the team, and they've been able to put everything together. You can see different ideas about how things look, the performances, the layout. All of that has been a collaborative effort so that we are able to literally spread the gospel of comedy across the world.
Watu wanatandikwa wale wase wanapigwa viboko.
Usiniite mzee, mimi
wewe
mama na huyo mzee. Wewe unafanya nini? Mimi nafanya nini? Najuaje si labda ni bwana huyo mama.
Nasikia huyo mzee ni mpishi huko.
Sasa na hiyo chakula yote si yeye ndio ula.
Kwa sababu wajua vile nyinyi hufanya watu. Mshtakiwa wa pili una swali?
Hii mbegu mbaya hii.
Lazima usikie huzuni maana sasa kuku hutakula.
Sasa ukienda ndani kuku hakuna.
Niko na one vovo. Mganga, kwa nini unaniita ukiwa hujuda nilani?
Unanijua mimi nani? Mjukuu wa Mekatilili wa Menza.
Okay, na mimi utajua mimi ndio mjukuu wa Bob Marley.
Toka kama mkubandike la uso sasa hivi.
Uniwekea
vya kupiga bonge wale na sima la uso wewe. Mwangalie.
Mimi na Mganga tunakuanga one thing. In fact, inafaa nikikoa wewe unaitika.
You not my girlfriend. This is not my type.
Kwani hao watu hawako hapa ndani?
Hawapo.
Niko sasa hivi mimi ndio mkubwa, hata sasa ndio naandika watu gasi bwana.
Itakuaje? Oya.
Auntie akona ka forehead. Akona the mark of quality.
Ameke ram denela mshetani over.
Nataka kumaliza mambo hiyo wedding.
Kwanza kiukia kitu kia Beatrix.
Umenimaliza kama chai kwa kikombe.
September, October.
Wanaona, I know my age wala.
Ni kama tu nikuje nikwambie uko na kichwa kubwa. Sasa makosa si
au sio? Ndio manake. Okay.
Every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV